There is sporadic fighting in both East and West Somalia between Islamist militants and government forces. And this week's Africa Wrap begins in Mogadishu. VOA's Paul Sisco reports.
Witnesses in Somalia's capital Mogadishu say at least 8 people have been killed since Tuesday and many others wounded in fighting between Islamic militants and government forces. The Islamic insurgent group Al-Shabaab and its ally Hizbul Islam have been on the offensive in Somalia since early May. On Sunday, a new video was released purportedly showing young Al-Shabaab militants training and vowing allegiance to al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. Last Sunday, Al-Shabaab staged twin suicide bombing attacks on an African Union peacekeeping base in Mogadishu, killing 21 people, the deadliest single assault since peacekeepers arrived in 2007. Next to Ivory Coast, where a spokesman for thousands of villagers who claim injuries from hazardous waste dumped in their village in 2006 says the settlement isn't enough. The Dutch company Trafigura has agreed to pay $49 million to 31,000 claimants, but denies wrongdoing. 3 years ago, a cargo ship contracted to Trafigura dumped tons of highly toxic waste at a site near Abidjan. In Kibera, Kenya, and Africa's largest slum, the first of 1,000 families began moving into improved housing. The project, organized by the Kenyan government and the United Nations Habitat Program, cost $2 billion and will take 9 years to complete. Too much and too long, say critics. More than 800,000 people live on 250 hectares of land in Kibera. United Nations Goodwill Ambassador Mia Farrow was welcomed in Bazama, Cameroon last week, an area hit hard by famine and malnutrition.
In a country, Cameroon, of relative wealth, middle-income country, there is really no need for 52,000 children each year to die of malnutrition.
UNICEF supports many nutrition centers and hospitals in Cameroon, but needs are outgrowing resources. Cameroon has hosted up to 250,000 refugees from neighboring countries. Malawi is moving ahead on construction of its first waterway project. It's building a $6 billion port and shipping facility that will benefit Malawi and its neighbors. Also in Malawi, at the Karonga Museum, back on display after an overseas tour is Malawisaurus, Malawi's own dinosaur. The museum's director says you have to come there to see it and study it because there is only one Malawisaurus, and this is it. Finally, we joined Ghana's President John Atta Mills and heads of state at ceremonies in Accra commemorating the 100th year since the birth of Kwame Nkrumah, the country's first president. Ghana is honoring the life of Kwame Nkrumah, who it calls the founding father of Africa, with days of song, dance, and celebration. Paul Sisco, VOA News.